Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Let me go and set up this room real quick and then we'll get started. It is Wednesday, March 30th. It is 6:22 right now. So I'll get everything all set up and then we'll get started with our session for today. Looks good. All right, solid. All right. All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 30th. It is 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. So I'll give it a few minutes for people to make their way in. Once majority of people are in the room, we'll get started with our analysis for today. And then we can start now determining what our bias is for this trading session. Hopefully we have a more direct bias today than we did yesterday and the day before. But we'll see. We'll see. Every day is different. Another reminder today or this week is NFP week. So we're probably gonna see some unusual movement, which is normal for a week like this. Let me see if there was news this morning. I think that's the first thing I want to look at. So looking at the calendar today, there was news at 5:15. So 5:15 and 5:30, there was news. I'm going to go and draw news price at both of those times. So 5:15, it's right there, and 5:30. It's right there. It looks like it's right next to each other. So let's get that over here too. 5:15 and 5:30. All right, cool. Other than that, I'm gonna drop the liquidity real quick. So let's see. Got liquidity right there. There. So we have liquidity sitting on both sides. And I think that might be it. This right here as well. And yeah, I think that's it for the liquidity. Up until London session. So that looks good. Let me draw the liquidity over here for the clean chart. So let's use here. Morning Jay, morning David, morning Peter, morning Solo. Morning Maria, morning Andreas, morning Kenny, morning Patrick, morning Saren, morning Al, morning Lisa, morning Matthew, morning Funny, morning David, morning Marlon, morning Steven, morning John, morning Jessica, morning Jess, morning everybody, morning Henry. All right, guys, it's set 6:27 right now. I'm going to be real quick and just mark up the liquidity here. Market's going to open in about 3 minutes. I just want to make sure all the liquidity here is marked up. And then we'll get started with a quick analysis of our bias before market open. And then we'll see what it looks like when the market actually does open in a short while. So let's see. And as you guys can see, if you guys have the indicators, it doesn't take very long to mark up these liquidity areas. It takes like a few seconds. Like you're literally just connecting the dots. So there we go. Got everything marked up here on the clean chart. Got everything marked up on the markup chart. One other thing I want to look at is upcoming news. So we have news again at 7:30 and 10. So news over here, 7:30. And at 10, which is fine. It's not going to count. I mean, it is going to count, but we're not going to be looking at that because that's going to be later in the day after the live session. Just going to mark it up over here as well. 7:30. All right, market's going to open in about 2 minutes, guys. Let me take a look at retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is currently at 61% short, so we're definitely looking for buys today. Buys is very strong for a buy on the retail sentiment side because there's 61% of retail traders who are short. We want to do the opposite of them. We're definitely looking for buys. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently down 101 points, so they don't align. When the market does open the next 2 minutes, we'll see what the fundamentals are looking on the current daily, and we'll see if they're going to be bullish or bearish. But looking over here across the board, the indexes are currently down 101 points for the Dow, down 15 points for the S&P, and down 87 points for the NASDAQ. So they're not aligned right now, but when the market does open, they can align, just to keep that in mind. Other than that, no real update with the war. So it's just, same thing going on. Anyways, back to the charts over here. Here's the markup. If we do look for the breakout's definitely going to be a possible buy. But we would need a strong bullish candle on open. Market's going to open in about 30 seconds. When the market does open, we can confirm whether, we're going to be looking for a buy or a sell. Right here, a sell signal just came up, so we might be looking for sell, but who knows? Overall, though, I'm looking for a buy. Just keep that in mind. The sentiment here is way too strong for me to be looking for any sells. It might be temporarily, temporary sells might come up, but overall, I'm definitely looking for buys for sure. All right, market is now open. You can see how it spiked up right there. There goes a big bullish push right there. It's hitting all the liquidity, but you can see the huge wick right there. So in order for us to take a buy here for the breakout, we need a strong green candle. Good morning, Jonathan. Morning, Brock. All right. So we need a strong green candle in order to take this breakout here. You can see it made a pretty big push right there. There's a lot of liquidity still sitting on the top side, so it can continue to push. However, we need that confirmation of a strong green candle before we take, any type of move here. So no strong green candle right there, so no entry off that. Let me take off these areas of liquidity. Price broke right through it. Again, right here for the second attempt. See if it closes with a strong green candle. If it doesn't close with a strong green candle, then no breakout off that inch right there. So let's see. So let's see right here, another strong green candle. We need this to close with little to no wick on the top side. If it closes with little to no wick, then this will be the breakout. But you guys want to be a bit careful because, as I mentioned, when the candle is too big, then it's usually going to have to retrace at least a little bit before it continues pushing. So see how this candle here closes. Has a huge wick on the top side, so no entry off that. It needs to be a strong candle, meaning a little to no wick on the top side. So as you can see right here, this wick's just way too big. Now at this point, guys, price is kind of overextended. So even if we were to get a breakout, I don't know if I would take it at this point. I might take it for maybe like a small little push, like maybe 100 pips or so. But I don't know if I would take it for the full, for the full 500 pips because it's just too big of a push. Price needs to retrace at some point. So I'll see if this here closes. We're gonna see how this candle here closes. If it closes strong, this is gonna be the breakout, but I do find it to be a bit risky if it does end up closing. Maybe I'll take it for a quick like 100 pip push, but I don't know if I'll hold it for the full move here. So it looks like this here is going to be the breakout right there. All right, so there's a breakout right there. I'll take it for like a quick little push. Maybe I'll wait for a little bit. What I'll do is I'll probably have an entry point waiting right here for when it closes. Maybe I'll catch it for a quick 100 pips. Because I do think it's going to push up. I don't know if it's going to push up all the way, but I do think it'll push up to some extent. So let me see. I'll put like a buy stop right here. I'll just wait for it to come up, and then I'll catch it as it swings up. And this is exactly why I mentioned not to enter right away, because you get this, retracement pullback because it's been overextended. Let me see where it's at. And just a reminder, I'm only going for like 100 pips here, guys. Not going for the full push. Let me pull back a little bit, see where the liquidity is sitting at. Yeah, the problem with this too is that when price pushes up right here, it's going to get close to the sessions over here. So this is an area of rejection, right? Which makes it extremely risky. So I don't like to trade around areas of where sessions are sitting. So I don't trade where sessions are. I don't trade where news price is or opening price. So just keep that in mind if you guys do decide to take this breakout here. However, I'm not in the position yet. I will be looking for a possible entry if it does push back up. If it doesn't push up anytime soon, then I'm just going to cancel my pending order. So see where it's at. So it's way down here. So I don't think I'm probably going to cancel it soon. I'll let you guys know if I do. But for the most part, I probably am going to. Usually when a big push happens like this, there's one or two things that'll happen. Price will go halfway down for retracement, and then it'll go back up, or it'll just go straight down, right? So I'm going to see where price goes from this point here. So from this point right here, I'm going to identify if price ends up coming lower or if it ends up pushing up higher. And mark up the opening price right here. Right over. There we go. This would be opening price. So where that line I drew earlier, that's probably gonna be your catalyst. So that's going to determine whether whether I think price can keep pushing back up and swing back to the upside, or if it's going to drop back down, obviously. So let's see. So there you go. As price comes back and retest that area right there. So yeah, at this point I'm just waiting, and there you go. Price drop below. So I think I'm going to cancel my buy stop. I haven't canceled it yet, but I'm going to see if it closes below that line. I'll just leave it at that point. You can see price is super erratic at this point. But if price does close below this line, which is, it's lower than halfway mark, but it's basically right there. If it closes below that line, then I will probably just hold off and wait for any other entries. Okay, there it is again, lower than that point. See if it closes. Looks like it's like literally right at the line. Yeah, so I'm going to cancel my my buy stop, guys. It's just the market's too risky right now. It's not really pushing in any direction, and it's really overextended. Just like I mentioned earlier, when price pushes up this heavily, usually it has to retrace down a little bit. And when it does retrace down, it usually retraces down either halfway or it ends up, coming right back up. At this point right here, I just don't really see it really, choosing a direction at all. So I think I'm just going to cancel my buy stop. Let me cancel that. And then we'll just we'll just wait for another entry. So hopefully nobody hopped into this entry. I had a feeling the trade was going to do this. That's why I told you guys I wasn't going to take it. It was just too overextended. The thing with yesterday was that the fundamentals were aligned with it. Today, the fundamentals weren't aligned with it, right? So yesterday, the fundamentals were up like 200, 300 points. And then the retail sentiment was also bullish right here. Fundamentals were red. So that's why these didn't line up together. That's why I didn't want to take it right away like it did, like a lot of people did yesterday. So I'm not in that position right there for the breakout. Price is now below the opening price. Here you can see price broke below, it retested. Now if price ends up closing below, say this line right here, then we might have a confirmation of a bearish bias. Not a long-term one, but short-term. Because here comes a pattern right here. Price broke and closed below opening price. This next candle right here is retesting it, or it might not. We'll see it. We'll see where it ends up closing. It was retesting earlier when it was waking off this blue line. But if it doesn't close above it, then if it does close above it, then it's going to invalidate the whole move. So let me just clean this up right here. Mark up another high right there. Low right there. So as you can see right here, price ended up coming back below opening price, retested. And then now this candle right here is attempting to either invalidate the whole bias change, or it's going to confirm below here and end up dropping lower. No, man, I turned off my buy stop because price already came more than halfway down right here. I think the trade's still technically running, but I mean, obviously I'm not going to risk it. Yeah, it's still technically running. Or no, I actually hit stop loss. So, but I'm not in it. So I'm just going to wait for some sort of direction to confirm, and then I'll be entering off of, you know, any of the other trades that come up. But right now there's no direction set overall. So here's again the bias, guys. Overall, we have a bullish bias. This is like long term. So like towards the end of the day, I do expect market to close bullish. But the fundamentals here are technically indecisive because you're not above 100 points or below 100 points. You want these two to line up. So with this being bullish, you want this to be above 100 points and consistently above 100 points. Until that happens, I'm not really looking for any trades in general per se. I'm pretty much just waiting for, you know, something to come up here to confirm it. Because the thing is, the technicals here aren't even indicating a direction either. Let me just mark up the clean chart over here. It's easier for you guys to see. So all we have is retail sentiment right now. Fundamentals are not strong. And also the technicals here don't have a direction either. All right. So it's a lot easier to see right here on the clean chart, but as you guys can see over here, there's no direction, right? Market opened, let's see, market opened here at 6:30. So since market opened right here at 6:30, price has spiked up and then it spiked down, right? Currently right now, there's no direction. Price spiked up, spiked down. Now it's just going sideways right here. So this will give you a clearer picture as to like no direction really being set. Price has broken this high right here, but even so, it's still in this range between this high and this low. So overall, there's no direction set, right? The only thing that we have here, the only confluence is retail sentiment. This hasn't confirmed yet. It's still like right down the middle. It's at like 50 points. It's not above 100 or below 100. And the technicals over here haven't confirmed either. It's just in this big range right here. But as price continues to establish numerous highs and lows, like this right here, it just establishes that there's no clear direction. So you want at least two confluences. You want retail sentiment and fundamentals, or you want retail sentiment and technicals, or technicals and fundamentals. But currently right now, there's just one. There's no direction here. It's indecisive. Fundamentals are indecisive. Only thing we can look at is retail sentiment. So yeah, we're pretty much just waiting for this to confirm first. And you can see right here where price is rejecting from. It's rejecting right off the opening price right there. So other than that, guys, just, it's got to wait until the direction's been set. Nice 13. 13 said went for the breakout, but didn't go for full TP. Hit my goal for the day. I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for the analysis, Sean. Yeah, no problem. Glad you made some profit off that. And technically it's still running, guys. So just FYI, it's still running. It's just, I mean, there just isn't any direction, right? Like price is still, like it's looking like it's still trying to push up. It's just every time it pushes up, it fails to, get to that point that we're looking for. So in order for me to take any buys here, guys, this is the pattern that I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to break and close above this high right here. But this is going to be an issue because even if it does break above, we have the sessions right there. So what I'm looking for at this point is I'm looking for price to break above it, looking for the retest, and then confirm the direction. If we have that, then I'll have a bullish bias. However, the problem with that is even when price does get this far, price is going to hit the sessions right here. So you're going to have to look for the same thing again right there at the sessions, because when price hits this point, it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to bounce off it or it's going to break above, right? And if it does break above, we're looking again for the retest and confirmation so that we can confirm that it's actually going to keep pushing up higher. So we're basically looking for the pattern twice. Or, I mean, you could just ignore it if it breaks above here and just wait for it to break above the sessions, because the sessions is going to be more important than the liquidity right here. This is going to be the main area of importance, because, even though if price breaks it above here, it's still going to be in an area of manipulation right here where the sessions are. So see what we got over here. I mean, there's not really much going on. As you guys can see, price kind of just bouncing around this area. Another high has been established right there. So mark that up right there. So as you can see, price is trying to push to the upside. Just looking at where price is currently at, market open right here, this blue line, price is just pushed up, retraced down a little bit and pushed up again a little higher. Yeah, definitely, Kenny. We'll see you tomorrow. Nice. Solange said, yeah, I got in early, still holding. Got faith in strats in profit right now. Yeah, nice work. So some of you guys did wait for it to pull back, like Solange over here. He actually got a better entry for the breakout. So he's still in the breakout technically, but he got in like when price pulled back a bit, or he just got in like really early on open. So if you're in the position, Solange, I would probably, I personally would either move your stop loss in profit or I would just close out in profit, because the thing is there's no direction. If there was a direction, then yeah, I would hold on to it. But I mean, right now there's no direction. So I think right now is a gamble, unless you like have other confirmations indicating that price is going to go up or go down. But, if you just look at the charts here, there's not really much going on. It's actually pretty messy. And that's just me being safe. So, I mean, depending on you guys, how safe you want to be, I'm very conservative. I don't like losing any trades. I'd rather have no trades than lose anything. But you can see from here, price is bullish. It's just, it's not confirmed yet. So until it's confirmed, I'm not going to take any buys because the range here is kind of wide. So if you're like in a position here, the range is about like 600 pips. I usually don't like using any stop loss higher than 300 pips because I like to manage my risk properly. Like I like having my risk, below 2%. So I usually don't risk more than 300 pips unless it's like a move where, I need that cushion, but usually I don't really risk that much. Yeah, Solange said, yeah, I got caught in the pullback. Definitely risky, but we'll see. Yeah, no, I think it's going to push up though, Solange. So I think overall, if you have a decent enough stop loss, you should be able to survive, whatever type move that comes up over here. Because I do expect it to push up. It's just going to be a matter of, as always, it's always going to be a matter of time before it does confirm. So here we go as the high just keeps getting pushed higher and higher. But other than that, I don't really see much here. There's nothing on the 3-minute. There's nothing here on the 5-minute. There's nothing here on the 10-minute either. There's no daily entry. I don't see any. Any snipes either. Let me see if I can refresh this. Refreshing the 10-minute here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, technically, it looks like there was a snipe right there. All right, so there goes the bullish push that we were waiting for. You know, as I mentioned earlier, we anticipated a bullish bias, and the bias is playing out. The technicals are now indicating, well, not yet. We're waiting for it to confirm. So as I mentioned earlier, we are looking for buys only today. If you guys followed and you guys paid attention, this is why, because the retail sentiment was bullish. So where I was short, indicating that we should be doing the opposite, buying. So this is why I always go with retail sentiment, guys. Retail sentiment is always going to be king over fundamentals and technicals. So right here, in order for me to take the trade at this point, I need price to break. Well, it already broke and closed right here. Now I'm looking for it to reject off this the liquidity right there, which it is. So price broke and closed above it. It retested right here, and it's shooting above even higher. If this ends up closing, I just need price to close above. I'll draw a line here to show you guys. Here's the 2 steps. We have break and close, retest. All right, so the only thing I need now is I need price to close above that point, right? That line. All right, so if this candle here closes above that line, then we're going to confirm the bullish bias. We don't really need to confirm the break and retest of the sessions here because it already broke and retest right here. It shot right through it. So what I'm looking for is just a confirmation. So I need price to confirm above this line. Once it confirms, then we can start looking for some buys. Nice. Yeah, Talanji said full TP. So great work, Talanji. You got in at a good price. You held on to it, and there you go, man. Some nice profit on your end. All right, so analysis played out perfectly. Well, not full analysis, but bias analysis. We just need this to close above. You can see right here, it's failing to close above it. There's no confirmation. You need to actually close above this line. Nice. Hamidi said full TP, got in from when it started. Nice. So Hamidi actually had, I'm assuming you had the buy stop, the one that I was talking about. I had a buy stop there and I was going to enter late, but I ended up turning it off. I should have just kept it on, right? Because if I kept my buy stop on right here, this is where the entry was. If I kept the buy stop, it would have filled it right here. Would have pulled back a little bit, like 200 pips, and then it would have shot straight to TP right there. So it's all good. I mean, my entry would have played out perfectly, but I canceled it, unfortunately. I should have just left it on. Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate I canceled it, but it's all good. Tiana said I was shitting bricks, thank God. Yeah. You guys just have to know what to look for. That's why I don't really get stressed out when I'm looking at trades, guys, because the thing is, like, we know where the long-term move is. The retail sentiment was so short that we already knew where the long-term move was going to happen. Like, even if you're holding that trade for like the entire day, by the end of the day, I was expecting it to push to the upside, and it did. So it kind of messed around over here, which is normal, right? Price always tends to mess around certain areas. And then it finally pushed up to where it was supposed to go. So here we have a confirmation of the bullish bias. What I'm looking for now is like any type of bullish entry. So I'm looking for any type of V1, V2, V3, high, low, pivot scalp, I mean, whatever I can find. But this definitely has confirmed the bullish bias. So looking for some buys here if I can find anything. Talanji said, got faith in K2 and the K2 strats that were. Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm glad you guys do have faith in it. And you've been around long enough, Talanji, so you already know. Like, I always tell new people here who join K2, like if you're not familiar with anything, the longer that you are around and the longer that you see on these live sessions, the more that you'll trust it, right? Sentiment right now is at it's about 62%. So 62% short. Fundamentals are now bullish. They're not very strong, but they are bullish. So just looking at the confluences, we have retail sentiment, which is indicating to take buys. Technicals are indicating to take buys. The fundamentals here are catching up. They're not there yet, but they are catching up. They're up 40 points right now. We want it to be up 100 points. So just FYI. But there we go, that bullish push. We just need a retracement now. Some sort of retracement, and then some sort of retracement. Sorry, guys. This charger, it's not charging. There we go. All right. So pretty much just waiting for this to push to the upside or retrace. I mean, price can do whatever it wants to do right now. We're just looking for an entry. There's no entry at the moment. There's or there was a 10-minute snipe over here. This one that Talanji was mentioning. So there was a 10-minute snipe that was right here off this most recent candle. And looks like it's halfway to TP. So there's a snipe that's currently running right there. Looks like. Actually, I don't know if this would be a snipe Talanji because it looks like the candle. Not entry. It looks like it was fine. Okay. So yeah, technically there's a snipe right there. But as I mentioned before, guys, price is like super overextended. You're gonna have to expect it to pull back a little bit. That's why for me personally, I'm not chasing the buy here. I'm looking for it to retrace down a little bit. And here you can see it's retracing down. At this point, we might get a V3. So if we get a sell signal right here with the low, that's great. If it's followed by a green candle, that would be a V3. But it's getting close to the sessions again. So whenever price gets near the sessions, I don't take trades around that point. So I need price to be away from the session. So even if we get a V3 right here, I wouldn't take it. I'll wait for the next entry to come up, unless price pushes up like, very high. All right. So here he goes. Price starts to retrace down a little bit. This is expected. If price pushes up this high, you have to wait for it to retrace. And this is at the point where we will probably be looking for an entry. However, if it's near the sessions, I'm not going to take it. We also have news coming up here at 7:30. So also keep that in mind. All right, so here we go. Price starts to push up a little bit. Okay, so price isn't rejecting off the sessions, but it is. Rick said, woke up late. Thanks for letting me in. Pulled a Tommy. I know, right? Is Tommy even in here? Tommy's probably still sleeping. Oh, no, he is here. Tommy is here. Yeah, he's there. All right, so this is possibly a V3 that's coming up right here, guys. Just a reminder, this is one that if it does close like it's supposed to, if it's a V2 or V3, I'm probably not going to take it because it's too close to the sessions right now. And I think the stop loss would be too close. So like this right here, yeah, it's like 100 pips or less than 100 pips. Actually, it wouldn't even be an entry because it's not a green candle. So let's see how this candle closes. It's probably gonna reject right off the sessions right there. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. This is why I don't like trading around the sessions, because when you trade around the sessions, you get a lot of fake outs. Price will do one of two things. It'll either bounce off or it'll break below and continue dropping. Right? So you're basically gambling at this point. If you're trading around the sessions, you're gambling because you could have, anticipated price is going to bounce off here, or you could anticipate price was going to break and close below. It's just not worth the risk. So I'm going to wait for it to break away from this point. This technically is a V3, but it's not what I'm going to take because it's right at the sessions. That's the main reason why I wouldn't take it. The second reason would be that the stop loss is too close. Stop loss is 150 pips. You want it to be at least 300 pips. So you want it to at least be down here. So this would be too close of a move. The reason why I say it's too small of a move is because the spread is 110 pips. So if your stop loss is 150 pips and it goes even a little bit in drawdown, you would have been stopped out depending on your broker. So just keep that in mind. You guys have to factor in spread. That's the reason why I look for at least 300 pips, because if it's too close, you can easily get stopped out if it pulls back even just a little bit. So just, a little couple of things that you guys should always keep in mind. Keep in mind the stop loss because you want it to be too close. Two, you always want to make sure you're not trading around the sessions. And three, you want to make sure you're not trading around either news or opening price. But you can see right there, if someone was to take it, it is pushing up. However, this is one thing that I see a lot of people do. If you see an entry like this and you really want to take it, sometimes people will just have a wider stop loss, right? They'll just do a two to one. So right there, if you would have taken it, it would have hit TP, but I would have just skipped it because for the reasons that I just mentioned. Stop loss too tight and sessions are right here. But as you can see, it does hit. It just depends on how risky you want to be. So you guys should always know your risk appetite, right? People always ask me like if they should take a trade or not. I mean, you should determine that. Is it risky? Are you okay with taking a risky trade, or if you want to trade conservative? For me, I like trading conservative, so I skip the risky trades even though that they do hit. Nice. John said I took it with a small lot, so nice work right there, John. Oh, you're right. Yeah, sorry guys. Patricia, you corrected me. So Patricia said it wasn't a V3 because the low was with a green candle. My bad. I thought this was a red candle because I remember we were following this one right here, and I totally missed that this was actually the low. So no, you're right, Patricia. That was actually no V3 right there. So my bad. Going back to the 10 is still running over here for the 10-minute snipe. If you guys are not familiar with that strategy is right over here. If you guys have access to the K2 indicators and K2 strategies, this would be the strategy that's being applied here on the 10 right now. There's nothing on the 5. There's nothing here on the 3. There's nothing here on the 1. Other than that, I don't really see much here. Rick's at first stand is funded up 250K. Nice work, Rick. Nice work. All right, so let's see. We got some more profit here from JJ, locked in a total of 3,128. Looks like he held on to the breakout from earlier this morning. Looks like he took it at 633. So yeah, and then he took another one up here where he entered at a lower price point. So nice work right there, Jay. Other than that, Melzon over here took the breakout as well, locked in a total of 885. Nice work, Melzon. And you can see right here, he has a red strip because he moved his stop loss in profit. So he just trailed it up as he got in for a better entry. David over here as well. David locked in a total of 73. Nice work, David. David said, I was not sure. Well, profit is profit. Smart move. Other than that, I think that's it for right now. Cern over here as well. Cern said got his first challenge in 6 days. So 6 days in, he passed his challenge. We got another member over here that just passed his FTMO. Nice work, Cern. Great work, guys. You guys are killing it. I'm glad to see a lot of you guys still taking trades, off my analysis. I know I haven't taken any trades myself. Due to the market conditions, I just haven't really been taking any trades because I'm very conservative with my moves. But I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here still profiting and passing challenges, mostly based off my analysis. Not even like official entries, because the official entries are only going to be trades that I'm like absolutely 100% sure are going to hit. Because I don't like giving you guys anything that's like a maybe trade. I want to give you guys trades that are like for sure going to be 100% a winner. And that's why I have such a high win rate, because I don't take risky trades. I only look for the perfect ones. And when I do see the perfect ones, I do show you guys and you guys do take them. Let's see. Yeah, no, I can see that, Jenny. Jenny said, trust no one. That's the crypto king. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of crypto movies coming out, especially with how much it's been booming lately. Other than that, nothing really much going on in the market. Market's kind of going slow right now, per usual. It's unfortunate. I was expecting it to move a lot better, but it's not really moving that much. So. All right, just checking a few things here. Today is Wednesday. So let me check the news that's going to be released today. If market doesn't really move that much today, I think tomorrow is going to be, because one thing that you guys want to keep in mind is that it's NFP week, right? A lot of you guys keep, well, even myself, I keep forgetting it's NFP week. Looking at the news, today they're just releasing the, they did release the ADP non-farm employment change. So at 5:15, they did release that news. That's why price kind of pushed up right here. So the news was released here at 5:30, right there. And you can see the bullish push, right? Because I'm sure it was positive. Let me check the news. It was like neutral. It was neutral, but it was like it wasn't bad news. So this right here, obviously caused price to push because this news came up at 5:30 and it pushed all the way up, or 5:15. Today, or during the session, we have crude oil inventories. I don't think it's going to push it too much. I think at market later at 10 o'clock, Fed member George is going to be speaking, so it's probably going to push a little bit. But I think the real big pushes are going to come tomorrow. So tomorrow we have a lot of news. We have core PCI price index, unemployment claims. These are like big things. We have OPEC. We have Fed member Williams speaking in the morning. We have Chicago PMI, natural gas storage. And then Friday is going to be the biggest, NFP. So we have non-farm employment change right here, unemployment rate. This is where the big moves are going to happen on Friday. Usually during NFP, the beginning of the week is usually slow. So Monday, Tuesday is slow. And then Wednesday kind of picks up a little bit, which you can see right here. We did see some volatility, but the real moves are going to happen tomorrow and Friday. So, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of NFP. Like a lot of people don't like trading during NFP because the market moves kind of funky. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad. This week, it looks like it's just normal. So like half the week, it's been kind of, I guess you can say choppy or dead. And then today it's starting to pick up a little bit. Then it's going to pick up a little more tomorrow and Friday for sure. Rick said, come on, Sean, give me a nice, big, juicy trade. I want to get this funded account going. I know, trust me, I want to get a trade too. I've been waiting for a trade like all week. So I haven't taken anything all week, which kind of sucks because, or I don't think I took anything on Monday, right? No. Yeah, so I actually haven't taken any trades this week. Oh, I did actually. I took one on Monday, but that was it. It was just a small trade. Took a small trade on Monday. It was just one. I know you guys took the full TP on the breakout. I only took like partial. So I have one trade for this entire week. Nothing yesterday, and then nothing today, but I'm hoping to get at least one trade today. It's 7:07, so we still have like an hour before the end of the session, but I'm only going to take it if I see something that's worth taking. So we'll keep watching for it. But as you can see right here, so you can see that price is now back into range, which sucks. It pushed up a bit and then it just went back into a range. This is what kind of sucks about this market. It's like there's just too many things going on with the war and just stuff behind the scenes. Like if this was a normal market, like NFP week with no war going on and nothing else really pushing price around, then we would have a lot more volatility. You can see right here, it's easy to see on the clean chart that price isn't really moving, right? It's kind of just market open right here. It consolidated for a bit, a bullish push, and then back into consolidation right here. Right, which sucks. Usually when we have like during a normal market, price will push up, it'll come down a little bit, and then it'll just keep pushing up higher. We don't really get these consolidation phases during New York session because this is like the busiest time for the market. But we do have, I mean, this past month, I feel it's just been like a lot of consolidation. So we'll see what happens here. Let's see. Anton said no more order blocks till 35,704-ish could fly up. Yeah, which is kind of what I see too, Anton. So Anton's anticipating a bullish push to the upside with his analysis. I'm still anticipating the bullish push as well, but we just don't have any confirmations yet. So basically. Yeah, Maddie too. So Anton is identifying a bullish push. Maddie's identifying a bullish push, and I am as well. So this retracement here or this range is fine, but I think overall pricing can push back up. All right, David. See you tomorrow. Looks like a lot of you guys are just calling it a day already. A lot of you guys who locked in profit are just calling it a day, which is fine. There just isn't anything else here for me to. Okay, so price right here is rejecting off the sessions. You can see it's basically a double bottom at this point. It's rejected off it at least twice. Right there, but it is in a range. So we have the double bottom, but it is ranging. So we'll see where it pushes from. All right, not much going on over here. All right, so just as I mentioned before, guys, price is literally just going sideways. I mean, there isn't much volatility here at all either. Looking at this candle here, this is moving like less than 100 pips. So each candle is like barely even moving. There was a big push right here, but other than that, it's just slow movement here. And like what Solange said, there's another V3 right here. And this is like really unfortunate because we have entries that do come up, but they're too small. Like, for example, there's a V3 right here, but it's only like 100 pips. So the thing is, this wouldn't be viable for us to take because the problem with this here is that the is that the spread is 110 pips. So if you were to enter this trade here and you had a 100 pip stop loss, if it went any bit into the red, you would have been automatically stopped out. So just keep that in mind, guys. You guys always have to factor in spread for your broker. I just base everything off FTMO. So FTMO right here, my spread is 110. And that's pretty much normal spread. Yeah, Maddie said stop loss way too small. Looks like retail sentiment is now, okay, 65% short. So I definitely see a big push to the upside happening over here. So Medu's asking, where do you find spread? So on MT4, if you click on the market watch tool, it'll show the spread on the chart. Yeah, Talanji said 65%. That's some all-time high numbers. Yeah, let me see where the all-time high is. I don't even know where it's at. When the bias is that strong, price like ends up pushing up super high. Or it'll drop a little bit and then it'll just push up like super high. So the all-time high is the all-time high is like, it's pretty far out here, but eventually it'll get to that point. Actually, it's not really that far. It's like 15,000 pips, which is it's not that high. Like if price continues to push up for like the next month, like it just continually pushes up higher and higher, it can reach the all-time high within like a month or less. So I wouldn't be surprised if it gets to that point, which is crazy because we're in the middle of a war and then we're still hitting all-time highs, which would kind of align with like COVID. Remember during COVID, everyone thought price was going to drop and it just kept pushing up higher and higher and hitting the all-time high. So we'll see where it goes from here. But anyways, there's still no entries available. Price is pretty much just going sideways right here. You can see there's no volatility at all. I mean, we probably have to wait until it gets to the news price over here for price to actually push. I don't see anything else happening here anytime soon. Yeah, next news event is at 7:30. Let's see this here. Over here on my FX book, we do have a couple small impact news events that are coming up as well. Or actually, no, they're all coming up at the same time. So all of these news events are coming up at the same time as the crude oil inventory. So we don't really have to look at the others. They all line up together. Yeah, I mean, other than that, we'll see where it goes from here. Let me check CNBC to see if there's any updates. Let me check the fundamentals as well, see if there's any updates here. Not really much of a change. It's just right at zero. So there's no bias for the fundamentals. Fundamentals are right down the middle. Technicals, there's no bias. And then retail sentiment, obviously, overall, we're looking for a buy here, but there's no bias to line up with it. Going over here, if there's anything else to update, let's see the war in Ukraine. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff going on here. Moscow move towards multipolar world order with China. All right, so no updates there. And nothing here either. All right, back to the charts. You can see right here that price broke below the sessions, which is fine. What you're looking for here now is if there's going to be a shift in bias. So in order for it to be a shift in bias, we need price to come back for the retest and then confirm the drop lower. I wouldn't chase the sell, guys. I feel like right here, they're just luring in sellers at this point, you know? So this right here, you can see it's coming down. Retail sentiment is too high right now. So they're trying to lure in more sellers. I could already tell a lot of people are going to chase the sell here. And then as soon as if they have enough people on the sell side, they're just going to spike it all the way back up. So I wouldn't fall for this drop right here. Yeah, so like what Rick said, price might come down to open as it continues to lure in more sellers, and then I'll just spike right back up. It's just, it's a typical pattern that comes up, especially if you see something that's so one-sided. So let me see, looking over here on the higher time frames. I mean, if you look here on the higher time frames, it's still very bullish. So I don't think it's coming down that far. Like you can see, it's been bullish since like March 14th or February 24th. So from February up until now, it's still been bullish. It's been clearly bullish from like March 14th till now. Trend meter overall, the overall trend is still green. It's above the pivots. Price might come down, test the pivots like it normally does. You can see right here, price tends to come down, test the pivots a little bit, and then just bounces right back up. So see how far it comes down from here. I also think this is setting up for the news. So like the news right here for crude oil is going to be bullish, right? It's like, it's, we have the news coming up over here at 7:30. It's crude oil inventories. The inventory is going to be low, of course, because we're not buying oil from Russia. So this right here is going to be positive regardless. So this news here is already going to be positive. It's probably going to come down a little bit. When the news happens right here, it's going to come right back up. So you guys just have to use logic, right? A lot of people try to analyze the charts one-sided. They think just because price is coming down, it's going to come down, but there's other factors in the market causing it to come down like that. One thing that you want to like always keep in mind is to think what other people are thinking. Like if you were like a new trader and you saw price dropping like this, what would you do? You chase the drop, right? And that's what they want you to do. They want you to chase the drop, and then all of a sudden price comes up and stops you out because it's yeah, no, we'll see. I agree with you too, Maddie. So Maddie's expecting the push to the upside. I'm expecting the push to the upside. I'm definitely not looking for sells. Yeah, and this is a possible V3 right here. However, it's it's going to be a bit risky because it's going to be right at the sessions right there, and the stop loss is too close. Man, I miss when the market was moving faster. Usually during the spring, the market it usually moves a lot quicker. Like spring is like one of the best times to trade where there's high volatility, but the volatility this past month or so, it's been really slow. See the 5-minute over here. So we actually have two V3s that are currently, but this is even smaller, Maddie. You see the V3 on the 5? It's like it's like 100 pips, which is crazy because the 5-minute usually has like the bigger candles, but there hasn't been much here. To see that the movement here is so small on the 5 is the same to see the movement here on the 1. But yeah, it is lining up. So like what Maddie said, that he mentioned that the 1 minute and the 5-minute are lining up as V3s. However, the stop loss is too tight, so it wouldn't be an entry for us to take. As I mentioned, we want to have a minimum of 300 pips. So in order for me to take a V3, I would need the swing to be at least like farther down here. So it's just it's too tight. Yeah, no, same here, Maddie. I don't think so either. That's what I was mentioning. I think price might come down to the opening price right here, and then it'll bounce from this point. But from now until news is going to come up in about 8 minutes. So this news here is, I'm predicting it to be positive. it doesn't mean price will be positive, but I think it'll either come down to opening price or the sessions right here. And then from that point, it may come back up. Another thing to keep in mind is that the Fed is speaking at 10. So if price does continue to drop, that's fine. But I think by later today, price can keep pushing up. So if you guys remembered from my analysis this morning, I mentioned that price might be manipulated to the downside first, but overall, I think price can push up because Fed member George is speaking today at 10. And the Fed usually has good things to say about the economy. I don't think they're talking about anything serious today, like interest rates or anything like that. They're just going to give an update on the economy. So something to keep in mind and follow. But I do think overall, we do have some buys still coming in, especially if the sentiment is this high. So sentiment right now is 64% short. You can see a lot, like when you see the change in retail traders, so it went from 65 to 64. That's because the people who were on the sell understood that, okay, price is probably going to swing back up at this point. So like 1% of them pulled out. So they switched from sells to buys, or they just pulled out of the market. So this is, again, using logic, right? There's different points of logic that you can use. We use retail sentiment, we use fundamentals, we use technicals, but fundamentals just haven't been one-sided at all. It's 47 points in the red. Looking over here at the looking over here at the actual stock index. The stock index is currently just half and half. So it's half green, half red. No direction at all with regard to the fundamentals. So all we really have here is going to be the sentiment and the technicals. Technicals here, which there's no clear direction. Price is kind of just going back and forth. And now it's just in a bigger range, bigger than it was earlier. And you can see right here at this point, let's see if price bounces off this point. If it does, then it just creates a bigger range. So here goes the clean chart. Clean this up a little bit. So as you guys can see, these patterns here are just playing out like how they normally do. Price went from a bigger range right here to a smaller range. Now back to a smaller range and a tight range right here, like a little small area of consolidation. Area of rejection could be right here at the opening price. However, we do have news coming up in about 5 minutes. I'm curious to see where price pushes because I do think it's going to, obviously I think it's going to be bullish, but we'll see where it pushes from there. Let's see. But I had a high right there. No. All right, so news is coming up in about 4 minutes. Let's see where price bounces from. It might bounce off the opening price right here, or it might continue pushing to the sessions down here. Yeah, no, I can see that too, Maddie. It's basically what I'm looking for. All right, let's see where the news pushes it. Yeah, no, I can see that too. But yeah, I mean, anyways, looking from here. So guys, check this out. This is opening price right here, right? This blue line. See where the range was created? Price pushed up, pushed back down, and it's just a big range. There's no direction. There's no bullish confirmation here. There's no bearish confirmation. Price is just coming right back to where it was at market open. So this is what I mean about there not being any direction in the market. There's like short-term direction where we have the bullish push right here. And then we have short-term direction where price just comes back to where it was before. So if you guys are not familiar with the blue line is opening price. This is where market opened at 630. Price literally went up and it came right back down. So right here is where, and I'll just mark up right here with the rectangle. This is where market opened, right? Look where price is currently at. It's like it didn't go anywhere. This was just, push the upside, came right back down to where it was on open. So if you just like disregarded this whole area here, this is literally where price was an hour ago. So market open here at 6:30. It's now 7:30. Price is in the same exact spot. Usually price would be like way up here, right? If it's directional, price would be, so this is usually how price generally moves on a normal day where price isn't ranging like this. Price will push up, it'll push down slightly, and it'll keep pushing up higher, right? This is normal market. This is how it's supposed to be moving. Same with the push down below. Price will open here, push down below, retrace up a little bit, and keep pushing down lower. So what I'm just trying to show you guys is that there's no direction, because a lot of people think there's a direction in the market, but there isn't. If you go back and see previous data from like the charts of last year, or like, I guess even a couple months ago, like 2 months ago, you'll see that that actually plays out a lot more than this here, where price kind of just goes up or it goes down and then comes right back to where it was on open. And you can see where price is rejecting from. It's rejecting right off that blue line, which is opening price. So this is the type of market that I don't like trading in. This is why I don't take any trades, because there's no direction. If there's a direction, then yeah, I would keep trading that direction, but there just isn't. So price is now bouncing off opening price right here. We have news coming up in about a minute, 30 seconds. And then we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, hopefully you guys can see the bigger picture. I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see it on the 1 minute, because you guys aren't familiar with looking at charts like this on a shorter time frame. If you guys look on the 1 hour, I mean, it's clear to you here, right? You can see that candle that I was drawing up earlier. It kind of just bounced off the pivots right there. Going back over here to the 1 minute, let's see where it goes. Market is now at news price. So news is right here at 7:30. I'll refresh the news to see where it plays out. Refresh this. All right. All right, anyways, so looking at the news right here, news was positive. So no surprise there, right? I told you guys news is gonna be positive. There's no guesswork right there. We're not buying oil from Russia, so the crude oil inventories are always gonna be positive. So right there, positive news, and we'll see where price moves from this point. So the kind of tough thing about this right here is that the news price is right at opening price. So instead of creating like a separate area of pricing, it kind of just creates the zone right there. So let's see where price ends up, I guess, pushing or reacting to the news. And then from there, we can kind of see where it's going. Let's see, Matt said 3 minute daily is deeply in profit. Yeah, if you guys take the daily right here, I don't normally take the daily for the 3 minute. But if you guys do take it, it's currently in profit. It's the only problem with this here is that it's gonna be right at the session. So this is the 3 minute daily entry. Right there. Yeah, we'll see what price reacts to the news, and we'll see if it comes back. So it's fine if price pushes down a little bit. Price might push down to the sessions right there. and then bounce right back to the upside. All right, so if you guys look closely, you'll see exactly where price rejected from off that purple line right there, right? We'll see if it ends up coming back up from here. It looks like it is. Let's clean it up a little bit. It's up too. So looking over at the retail sentiment is now dropping slightly. It's now at 63% short. As you can tell, like people aren't dumb, right? So people are who are on the sell side. I mean, not all people are dumb, but like, you know, you can see that prices dropped a bit and people are anticipating prices to swing back up. So you can see this went from 65% to 64 to now 63. With that said, people are anticipating prices to swing back up, which, you know, it's a no-brainer. So we'll see if the balance is now ready to bounce back up. It may or may not bounce back up, but as we looked at earlier, this would technically be a V3, but it's too small again. Stop loss is way too tight. It's like less than 100 pips. So it's less than the spread. So it's impossible to take. But yeah, I mean, we'll see where it ends up going from here. So price is not right back at news price. So this pink line right here is news price. And it's rejecting off the news price right there. So as you can see, as I mentioned earlier, it kind of created a zone right here, right? So price is kind of just ranging between this area. It's trying to break above it. When it does break above it, we'll be looking for the retest and confirmation. Yeah, no, Anton said maybe the market maker got the shorts they wanted. Yeah, no, I agree. Got its temporary push and then pulled out. Now it's pushing back up. But price is ranging within this area. We're just looking for the confirmation, breaking close, retest, and push up higher. Pretty much all that we're waiting for right here. All right, so as you guys can see, nothing's really going on here. Price just going sideways. We're looking for it to break and close above, retest and confirm. But currently right now, price is just having a hard time getting past the news price and opening price right there. So it got really close to it. Looks like it's still below opening price. But you can tell that like it's having an issue getting past it. So as you guys can see, there's a reason why we draw these lines, and they're not just drawn for no reason. They're actually indicators in identifying where rejections can and may happen. So yeah, at the moment, not really much going on. Price pretty much just rejected off the sessions. This is why I don't like trading around the session. So like I mentioned earlier, guys, if whoever was chasing the sells here, if you traded around the sessions, you'd be in drawdown right now about 200 to 300 pips. That's why I don't like trading on the sessions, because price tends to bounce off them. And you can see right here too, like right here, price came down, bounced off the sessions, came down, bounced off the sessions. Same situation right here, price came down, bounced off the sessions. Going back to the 1 minute chart over here, it still hasn't closed above. It's still trying. This might be the candle where it does. And possible V3 over here for the 5 minute. It's got about a minute left on it, but yeah, possible V3 right there. Probably expecting a bit of a retracement. All right, so it's going to close in about a few seconds, about 5 seconds. It'll close above. We're going to look for that retest. And then continued push to the upside. All right, there we go. See as it drops back down for the retest. It's 5 minutes about to close, 5 minute V3. So we haven't gotten the retest yet. So I'll follow this 5 minute right here. I'll follow it, but I'm not going to enter it yet. The reason why I'm not entering it is because on the 1 minute, we're still looking for the retracement, right? So with it dropping like this, I'm going to wait for it to come down below and then come back for the retest, and continue pushing up higher. If you guys want to take the 5 minute, you guys can take it right here. But I'll probably just wait for it to pull back a little bit, maybe get a better entry point. So this is where like the strategies kind of conflict. Because the thing is, we don't have the bullish bias yet, so I'm not so sold on that buy. If we had the confirmation right here where price came down and retested it, then yeah, I would have been ready to take it, but it hasn't confirmed it yet. So right there, let's see if it ends up pulling back up. And it didn't, or it technically did. There's was retest right there. So in order for it to confirm, price needs to close above this line right here. Victor said 10 minute daily, just logged in if you talked about it already. So the 10 minute daily, I wouldn't take the 10 minute daily because like this whole day, just like yesterday, we're looking for bullish bias, Victor. So I'm not looking to take this right here for the daily. The bias still overall is bullish. Retail sentiment currently 61%. It's not as strong as it was earlier, but I don't think it'll push down for that long. So I personally would not take the daily right here. A lot of people have been asking about the daily. I trade the daily in the direction of bias. So for me personally, I don't think I would take the sell right here. There's a couple of reasons. For one, retail sentiment is short, indicating that we should be taking buys. But the bigger reason is the news later today. So at 10 o'clock today, Fed member George is speaking. The Fed usually has good things to say about the economy. So what you can see right here is price might come down slightly, like kind of what happened to you yesterday, Victor. Price could come down slightly, but once it hits 10 o'clock, the Fed's going to start speaking. And when the Fed starts speaking, they're usually going to say good things about the economy, like how the economy is doing so well and whatnot. So at that point, price might just swing all the way back up and skyrocket, right? And that's kind of what happened with the daily yesterday, because overall bias was bullish, but the daily was a sell. So just keep that in mind, guys. Like whenever you guys take a trade, especially on the higher time frames, make sure to look at everything that could affect your trade. Because whenever you take a trade, you always want to look at the best case scenario and worst case scenario. Best case scenario is that it goes straight to TP, no problem, right? Worst case scenario is that it has a rocky ride. Like say, for example, it goes down, goes up, goes down, and then you want to keep in mind that there's news coming up in like 2 hours. When the news happens, what is that news going to usually push price? Is it going to push price up or is it going to push price down? Whenever the Fed speaks or Powell speaks, he's part of the Fed, it's usually going to push up. Whenever Biden's speaking, then it's going to push down. So like, for example, if you're looking to take a sell here and then you're like, all right, Biden's going to speak in 2 hours. Okay, then yeah, price is probably going to keep dropping. But if the Fed's speaking, price is probably going to swing back up, especially if the overall bias is bullish. So something to pay attention to and keep in mind. Right here, we have the confirmation, or not really confirmation yet. We need this candle to close above this line here. Looks like it got really close. Didn't close necessarily. We'll see if this next candle does close above it, but if it does, it's going to confirm the bullish bias here. Talanji say triple confluence, almost, if it closed above that line. So actually, no, there wouldn't be, because there would need to be 5 candles. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be the 5th candle. We would need 1 more after it. So unfortunately, no triple confluence and no confirmation of the bias yet. But you guys can see here, the pattern played out perfectly, right? So price broke above here. It came back for the retest. I already drew the arrows here before it happened. Retested that area, and here comes a confirmation. The trend meter doesn't matter. Oh yeah, no, for the triple confluence, yeah, you're right, Sam. So the reason why there's no triple confluence is because, for one, Sam was correct. He confirmed that the trend meter here was red. So this would need to be green. Also, we would need 5 candles to pass before it can establish the high, which it didn't. So here we go with this right here. Prices now confirm the bullish bias. So if you guys are in the 5 minutes, looking nice. I'll put an alert here for you guys who are taking it. I think some of you guys did take it right away. So I got an alert there for you guys. Other than that, I'm basically looking for whatever, buy entries I can get here. So if we get any other buy entries that come up, high lows, pivot scalp, version 1s, version 2s, I'll probably be looking for entries there, because our confirmation already confirmed here. Once we've confirmed the bias, we can start looking for trades in that direction. Our bias is bullish. So if I get any buy entries, I will let you guys know, but I don't see anything right now specifically. Oh, gotcha, Maddie. Yeah, you took it off this, Maddie. And there you go, full TP off the 5. So whoever took the 5-minute V3, great work, guys. I didn't take it myself because I was waiting for that retracement. The retracement did come down and it confirmed. So now I'm definitely looking for buys. I just wasn't convinced that this was going to push up just yet, because we didn't have the confirmation of the bias. But, great work to whoever caught the 5-minute V3. It did hit full TP right there for 320 pips. So as you guys can see, a lot of the risky entries still hit TP. It's just depending on your risk appetite. For me personally, I don't like taking risky trades, so I don't take trades that I'm not 100% confident about. Looks like a lot of you guys here did, though. So looking over here, Tiana locked in a total of 3,512. Nice work, Tiana. We got, let's see, what else we got here? Patrick over here as well, locking a total of 5,894. Nice work, Patrick. And we got Scotty over here locking a total of 724. So great work again right there too, Scotty. So great work across the board right here, guys. Maddie over here as well. His trade didn't copy. He locked in a total of 240 for the day. Nice work, Maddie, off that account. His other account over here, 2,075. So nice work right there, Maddie. Eunice over here, he said he took the V3 on the 5. So that trade that I just marked up right here, this is the one that Eunice took. He locked in a total of 191. So he took the trade earlier, and then he took the breakout, or took the trade earlier plus a 5 in it. So great work right there, Eunice. Joshua over here as well. He said, in the office today, trying to trade from my laptop and work at the same time. Suck at multitasking. See you tomorrow. So Joshua over here locked in a total of 64. It's all good. Profit's profit. As long as you close out the day with net positive profits, it'll add up over time. Matty over here, he closed out of his trade, locked in a total of 2,385. Nice work, Matty. Other than that, I think that's it for right now, guys. If there's anything else for us to look out here for. And the bias is still playing out. So as I mentioned earlier, guys, overall bias is bullish, and price is now swinging right back to the upside. So this is why I always look at retail sentiment first, right? It's always going to trump the fundamentals here, which aren't even, there's no bias there, obviously. It's only down like 20 points. And then same with the technicals over here as well. So, all right, guys, it's 7:50 right now. I don't know what happened to the time. Time like literally flew by. I don't really have anything else for me to look at right now. If you guys have questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Unfortunately, I didn't take any trades today again. So it's been a kind of crappy week for me well, not really crappy week because I haven't lost anything. So it's actually a great week because I took one trade on Monday. It won. Didn't take anything yesterday. It was too risky. Didn't take anything today. It was too risky as well. So here's the thing, guys, if you guys can stay consistent, I mean, that's the main key, right? Don't lose, so that at the end of every day, you close out positive, and at the end of the week, everything adds up pretty nicely. So let's see. Talanji said, I've been holding since the 3-minute V3 with analysis. Nice. So Talanji's been holding on to the buy here for quite some time, from like way down here. So Talanji's actually been holding on to this V3 from way down here. So you must be in profit heavily right now, Talanji. You're up like maybe 750 pips. So great work on holding on to that trade. Whenever you guys analyze, or if you guys follow my analysis here, I did tell you guys price is gonna be bullish, right? So if you waited for this dip right here, this is a huge push to the upside. So I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here making a ton of profit off my analysis. I know there's no official trades that we've taken today, unfortunately, because of the market conditions. But if you guys are able to understand my analysis here, you guys can actually catch trades from like way below here and just hold on to them. Typically, we go for like a 1-to-1, so we go for a TP and exit right there. But Talanji here is understanding how my analysis works. So he's pretty much holding for a long time now. Definitely, Talanji. Talanji said, yes, you're the GOAT. Yeah, no, definitely. I'm glad to see that you're killing it. Nice. Hamidi too. So Hamidi said, I'm holding on to it, even re-enter and set to the 1-hour time frame, 36,015 TP is what she's looking at. Yeah, Maddie said if the 1 hour closes above the sessions, he can see it skyrocketing. Yeah, same here. Everything follows the bias, guys. This is why I always tell you guys trade in the direction of bias. So just like I mentioned earlier, Victor, I'm glad you didn't take that sell there. And I'm glad you actually, you analyzed it yourself and you saw that the bias was bullish. Because if you took the sell right here, you'd be in some massive drawdown, 720 pips in drawdown. So just keep that in mind, guys. Always look at the bias. If there's no bias, don't take a trade. Just make sure that you actually have some sort of bias to trade off. Because what happens is I see a lot of people trade both directions with no bias, and they end up losing all the trades because they have no bias. But if you guys can just follow a bias in a direction, you guys would have a lot better probability of winning the trade. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, it's 7:52 right now. The session usually runs until 8. So if you guys have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I can help you guys with whatever you guys need help with. Otherwise, just a reminder, our mentoring session is going to be on Monday at 2 p.m. So Nice, Jay. Jay just passed his phase 2. So nice work, bro. Nice, nice. Yeah, to add another one to your stable right there. But yeah, guys, other than that, let me see if there's anything else for me to look at here. Just keep in mind that there's news coming up here at 10 o'clock. So one thing that you want to keep in mind is the Fed speaking, which is going to be beneficial to bullish moves. What I can see right here is price might, let me just mark it up for you. News over here at 10 o'clock. So you might just see price kind of range a bit, maybe even drop back down a little bit. So as you can see right here, price is currently right here right now. We got a high right there. We have a low that's probably pending. Price might just range a little bit right here. It might range for a bit. Or this is what might happen. Price might range for a bit. Price may push up. Bounce off the sessions. Go back into a range. Drop a little bit. Range. And then the Fed starts speaking. And then it just ends up going all the way back up. Right. So this is why I usually stop trading at 8 o'clock, because once it hits 8 o'clock, price starts to just trend. It just starts to go sideways for a bit. And whenever it's going sideways like this, it's not a good time to trade because there's no direction and there's no bias, or no short-term bias at least. You guys have the long-term bias because you can see that retail sentiment is still short. So overall, you're going to be looking for buys. But currently right now, the short-term bias, there's nothing there. We already had the break and close right here. So this pattern over here confirmed the bullish push, right? Now price is back in a range. What you need at this point is another confirmation. Price to break above again, retest and confirm. This is basically what you're looking for. But yeah, like right now, currently at the moment, we don't have that. It's just going to be around this point until maybe later. So just a reminder, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me through email or Telegram. If you guys have questions right now, I can answer whatever questions you guys have. But if you guys want to save it for the mentoring session next week, just make a list of questions, write down the timestamps for the trade you want me to review, and we'll go over that. But if you guys do have questions now, I'm here to answer whatever questions you guys have. It's 5 minutes till 8. Doesn't look like I'm going to have any trades today, unfortunately, because we're back into this range, this typical range. I mean, it sucks. If you guys have been following me for like the past couple of years now, I've been trading live for like the past 3 years every morning. The market's normally not like this during the spring. During the spring, it usually is directional and it's moving pretty quickly. I think there's just a lot of uncertainty in the world, the war going on, and just today, this is NFP week as well. So there's just a lot of different factors in the market causing people to just be scared, right? If people are scared, there's no volatility in the market because they're not trading. When people are either not really scared. So I don't want to say scared, because if people are scared, like with COVID, people would be selling, but people aren't scared and they're not bullish in the market. They're kind of just neutral. So other than that, Solo's asking, do we trade NFP? I'm live during NFP, but I don't necessarily, well, I mean, it depends. Like if the market's moving all crazy, then yeah, I probably don't trade during NFP. But if the market's moving kind of smooth, then I would trade during NFP. But typically I wouldn't. So the thing is, one thing that you guys want to keep in mind is that NFP happens at 5:30. Our live is until 6, right? So NFP happens an hour before. By the time we go on the live, market is kind of stabilized a bit. So if you're asking if I trade NFP, like the actual news, I 100% don't trade news, any news. Doesn't matter if it's NFP, doesn't matter if it's Biden, doesn't matter if it's Powell, doesn't matter if it's anything. I don't trade any news, but we'll trade that day if there's anything that happens from there. Because what will happen is you'll see some spikes happen at 5:30 when NFP happens. And then after that, you'll see price start to smoothen out. So you can still trade on Friday. It's just, I don't trade news at all. So I'm not going to, that's a gamble, right? You're just betting on NFP. And if you're going to do that, you might as well just go to the casino and bet on like one number on like, or bet on black or red, because then you'll have 50% chance. What I see happen with people on NFP is they try to trade NFP, and what happens is price will spike, right? Like say, for example, this line is NFP like 530 tomorrow, price will spike up and down. What happens is people try to set a really tight stop loss and price will spike up in profit. It'll hit their stop loss and then it goes right back up to where they were going. So that's why I don't trade NFP, because if you guys want to trade something like that, you're like literally just gambling. So other than that, guys, it is about to be 8 o'clock. So I don't have any other questions here for me to answer. If you guys do have any questions, always feel free to email me or message me on Telegram. Otherwise, we'll be back here on the live session tomorrow, and hopefully market will move a lot smoother. Looking at the news for tomorrow, we do have news. We have OPEC all day. Hopefully this causes some volatility in the market. We also have core PCI price index, or PCE price index, plus unemployment claims at 5:30. This is an hour prior to our live session. Then we have at 6:45, 15 minutes into the live session, Chicago PMI. So it looks like when we go live tomorrow, we'll probably be able to maybe catch the breakout or parts of the breakout, and then news will happen right after. So after that, we'll just have to sit tight until 7. And then from there, we'll be clear until 7:30. And then we'll get, end of the session again at 8. So other than that, guys, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the next live session. If you guys do decide to trade, keep in mind that the Fed is speaking at 10 o'clock. So overall bias is still bullish, but you want to be careful when the Fed speaks, because that can easily push price one way or the other. You can see right here, it's starting to increase again, 63%. So what you might see is a little bit of a downwards push here. Downwards push, consolidation, downwards push, maybe another retest of opening price, and then possible bullish push when the Fed starts speaking at 10. So yeah, if you guys don't need to trade, I would just sit out the market. I didn't make any profit today, so I'm just going to sit out the market, come back tomorrow, hopefully make something to make up for today and yesterday, which have been kind of slow days for us. So other than that, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow morning. And if you guys do want to trade, make sure to use proper lot sizing. Otherwise, just sit out the market. So I'll catch you guys then.